For this question, we need to look at the diagram given. This is electrolysis of copper 2 sulfate solution using carbon electrode. Okay, so it's copper 2 sulfate solution, alright, and using carbon electrode. So there are three factors that affect the electrolysis of a solution, an aqueous solution. The first one is the value of the E0. The second one is if there is Cl negative or Br negative or I negative, then the concentration of the solution will affect which ions will be chosen to be selectively discharged. The other one we look at is we look at the anode. If the anode is the metal that is the same as the metal ion used, then we will have to take factor number 3, where the anode itself will become ion. Okay, in this case there is no Cl negative, Br negative, I negative, alright, because we are using sulfate ion. So this is not factor number 2. It is also not factor number 3 because the anode used, okay, you look at the battery, battery long line is positive terminal, that makes X the anode. Alright, the anode used is a carbon electrode. So for this question, the factor that affect the ions that will be selectively discharged is the value of the E0. Okay, so let's look at the question A. What is meant by electrolysis? Now this question is a very popular question. So you need to memorize the definition of electrolysis, which is in your textbook. Electrolysis is a process whereby compounds in the molten state or aqueous solution decompose. Okay, so the compound, which is the solution in this question, okay, decompose means it becomes smaller substances. Okay, decomposes into what? Into its constituent elements. And how does it decompose? Okay, we pass electricity through that either the molten or the aqueous solution. In this case is the aqueous solution. So the electricity is the one that causes the substance in the solution to decompose into its into the smaller constituent elements. Okay, so you need to memorize this. Okay, so what is meant by electrolysis? A process whereby compounds in the molten or aqueous solution decompose into their constituent elements by passing electricity through them. Okay, has to be memorized. Is a very popular question. Okay, let's continue. State the energy change that takes place. So in this question, it is the electricity. Okay, electrical energy is the electricity that causes the chemical reaction. So electrical energy changes to chemical energy. List all the ions that are attracted to cathode. Now let's look at the solution. Okay, it's a copper 2 sulfate solution, so it's aqueous solution. Therefore, in this solution there are Cu2 plus ions. H plus ion comes from the solution, the water. Okay, remember aqueous solution is where we add water. And then we also have the sulfate ion, right? Sulfate, as well as OH negative from water. Okay. So this question is asking for cathode. Alright, cathode. So the battery short line negative causes this Y electrode to be a negative electrode. Okay, so this is the cathode. And because this is a negative electrode called cathode, the positive ions are attracted to the cathode. So positive ion means Cu2 plus and H plus. Okay, Cu2 plus and H plus ions. Okay, so the question here is list, so you can either write it in the formula or you can also write it in words. So, but if you write it in words, you got to write copper 2 ion. Right, this one, if you write it in words, it would be hydrogen ion. The word ion must be there. Alright, next question. So, refer to the standard electrode potential in appendix. How can we observe at electrode X? Explain the answer and it's 4 marks. 4 marks. Okay. So electrode X is the anode. Alright, so the anode is positively charged. Okay, it will attract the negative ions. Okay, so it will attract SO42 negative and OH negative. So we got to refer to the appendix to see, right, to compare between OH negative and SO42 negative. Okay. So which one? Alright. Just now, remember, you got to remember this. Look at the diagram again. Okay, this is anode. Electrode X. They're asking for electrode X. Electrode X is anode. Okay, electrode X is anode. And you have to remember that oxidation always happens at anode. Okay, oxidation reaction always happens at anode. Okay, so oxidation reaction, so that means we are comparing your right hand. Okay, your right hand, you put up your right hand. Your right hand is where oxidation reducing agent is. Okay, so the one that is higher, that means the one that is higher. Okay, so OH negative is the one that is higher. There's a little bit of error in this appendix. Chlorine, this should be 1.36. And this sulfate is from the textbook. It should be 2.01. Okay, so when we compare OH negative and SO42 negative, okay, you compare the numbers. Okay, we say that this number is less positive. Okay, so for OH negative, this number 0.40 is less positive than for SO42 negative, this number 2.01. Okay, so what will happen is OH negative will be the one that will go through oxidation reaction. Okay, and when that happens, this OH negative, you write the equation, just follow back this equation, write it down. Okay, but you got to write it from right to left lah. Okay, the other way around. So this is oxidation, lose electron. Okay, so we say OH negative will be the one that is selectively discharged lah, right? Because the E naught is less positive. Okay, so what is our observation? This oxygen gas, right? Oxygen gas, it will be produced and it comes out as colorless gas bubbles. Okay, so let us write down the answer. 4 marks. One is observe and explain your answer. Okay, bubbles of colorless gas is produced. Or you can also say colorless gas bubbles, okay, is produced. Right? That's one answer. Then you got to explain why. Okay, so the standard electrode potential value, okay, which is the E naught lah, for OH negative is less positive than that for SO4 2 negative. Okay, that is your second answer. So therefore OH negative is the stronger reducing agent. Okay, reducing agent because right hand pointing upwards, reducing agent, and therefore OH negative is selected to be discharged. Okay, so that's your point. Okay, write the half equation for Y. For Y, so if X is oxidation, Y will be reduction. So it's gain. Okay, so the positive ions are between Cu2 plus and H plus. So you got to choose which one will be discharged. Cu2 plus and H plus. So the Cu2 plus is lower. Okay, the one that is discharged. Follow your left hand now. Follow your left hand. Reduction oxidizing agent. So Cu2 plus. So let's write down the answer. Cu2 plus is discharged, right? So Cu2 plus, okay, gains electron to become Cu. Right? Actually, the equation is already in the appendix, but you must know that is Cu2 plus, that is the one that is discharged. Okay, because compare Cu2 plus and H plus. Cu2 plus, you use your left hand pointing down. It is the oxidizing agent. Cu2 plus will be chosen. Alright, because it's more positive. Okay.